Palantir, as we all know, reported earnings after market yesterday. That's why you had that big gap down in here today. And you can see that's exactly what happened here overnight. And then even into this morning, right at open, everybody just dumped this thing. So you had a nice big gap down in here. And then you had a tank as well right after that. So the gap down was right here at 113. You had a high of 113.91 this morning. You had that low 105.32 starting to even things out. And we closed today at 108.86. So a little bit of recovery in here after those huge lows and that big gap down. Where does that kind of put us? Well, here on the daily chart, kind of in no man's land, right? So we have this low in here of 105. This whole area, we use that as a reference point for our support because there's kind of really nothing in between here. And that is just coming off of, if you go all the way back to February, we had a high in here on a doji of basically that 104, 105 range. That's our only other touch point currently. So 105 might be a psychological level for us in here. Maybe perhaps that's why we got some recovery. Maybe the market helped us overall as well. Not quite sure why that 105 stuck, but it did. So going forward, what are we going to be looking at here? Well, long term, we're going to be opening up our weekly chart here. That 0% fib up here, those high 124, 125s, that is still going to be our major resistance. Major support is going to be that 78.6 fib level, which is right around that $99 range in here. That's going to be something that we're going to be looking at as a major support. But again, you got those 105s in here that we are looking at. Now, if we go to the 30-minute chart again, like we did when we first opened up this chart, you can see that right here you have right around that 115 range, a nice point in here for us to kind of reference. And then right here, you have a low coming in about 110. This is coming back from, let's see, last Wednesday, actually. So you had a 110 spot in here that we need to be aware of as well. 110, that's going to be a nice whole number, a nice round number for us to kind of remember as a nice resistance in here going forward. But again, the major resistance is going to be up here at 125. But until then, we'll just worry about the 110s first. We'll go up to those 114s, and then we'll see what happens after that. Support wise, again, really the 105s for whatever reason, that's what's stuck today. So therefore, that's what we're going to keep on. And then below that, it's going to be that $99 range in here. Obviously, over RSI is through the roof, and your volume is super high as well in here. That's going to be because you had that big run up, and then obviously with earnings, right? So actually, your RSI, I'm sorry, your RSI pulled back in here a little bit today. It was overbought through the roof the past few trading sessions. So we had that big pullback in here today. That's going to get the RSI start to be reset. Still pretty high in here though, but obviously volume through the roof because you had that earnings report coming out yesterday after market and that big tank in here today. Now going forward, since the IV did get sucked out of here a little bit, not a whole lot, but still quite a bit in here. Your IV rank is down to 37. You went from basically an $18 expected move to now you got sucked down to a $6 move, but you also did literally just have that $18 move basically high to low in here, that 124 yesterday on the doji, and then today you hit that low 105. So basically you already had that expected move already priced in, but now overall everybody's pricing in just another $6 expected move either way in here. If you go out to next Friday, right around $10. If you go all the way out to your June monthlies, right around a $17 expected move is what everybody's pricing in here. So still decent IV, still decent moves in here to be had, but we'll see what happens in here. Check out the 105s, watch the 110s, watch the 114s. That's what we're going to be looking at in here going forward for Palantir. All right, guys, if you like this video, make sure to check us out on all of our social media. We also have a Discord service if you're interested, and you can find all of our socials in the description below.